Hello, Inside Algebra class. This is time for Chapter 8, Objective 3. We're talking about solving linear inequalities using adding and subtracting of polynomials. So the first word that we come across is monomial. Monomials are a number, a variable, or a product of the number and one or more variables. So that could be anything like 4x, 20x squared yw to the third. We could also see something like -3. I mean, those are all monomials. Now the next one is polynomials. Polynomials are things where we're going to see an addition or subtraction sign, so breaking apart two monomials. So 4x plus 6x squared, that's a polynomial. 20xy minus 4. Or even something like 3a squared minus 5a plus 4. That's going to be a polynomial. Okay. Now, the other thing we've talked a lot about is like terms. Now, like terms are when monomials have the same variables but have the different coefficients. So the variables in the terms must have the same powers. So where 3x and a 5x, or 7 and a 1, or 4x squared and an x squared, or 5x squared y and 8xxy. Those are both the same like terms, okay? And we can even get bigger with -13 y to the fourth x to the second z and 4z xx y to the fourth. Those are going to be like terms. Those can be combined. So with that, adding polynomials, the thing we need to think about is simplifying these. I'm going to simplify by putting things together. So I can combine those 3x and that 2x. So if I move my camera just a little, we can put the 3x and the 2x together to get 5x. And we can put our 5 and our 1 together to get 6. Okay, so let's try this down at example 1. Okay, example 1, let's put together our like terms. So I got an 8x squared plus 3x squared. Let's put those together. And let's put our 2 and our 4 together. Those we can easily put. So we're just going to add our coefficients to get 11x squared and 2 plus the 4 to get 6. There is our final answer. If we try it again down here, 4x squared minus 9, let's put together like terms here. So I can put that and that together. Well, 4x squared plus 2x squared, alright. And then I can put the 9x and the, now that's a minus 9x and an 8x, and then nothing left except for this minus 5. So let's turn that into minus 5 there. So we put together these like terms. I get 6x squared, a minus 9x, and an 8x. Again, if you can't do that, take your coefficients and use a calculator. You'll find that's -1x or -x. Either one's acceptable. And then the only thing that's left is this minus 5. So there is your answer with that one. Couple more examples down here. Putting together like terms. I can put those together. And you might get to the point where you can do some of these in your head. So you'll see the positive 2x squared and a negative 7x squared to get negative 5x squared. And then we can put this and this together, understanding there's a 1 right there. So I'm going to add those two up to get negative 2xy. And then the only thing that's left is that plus 4 on the end. Okay. So we see the next one. Again, like terms. Put them together. I can put that and that together because this is all addition. I'm going to do that in my head and get 7x squared. I'm going to put this x and this negative 2x together, and that's going to become negative 1x, or negative x if you want to use that. And then I'm going to box in negative 6 and a positive 5 and put those together. Well, negative 6 and a positive 5 make negative 1. And notice my final answer, I'm boxing or circling in. Further down, when you have a negative, minus, or minus sign outside parentheses, it means the opposite of what's inside the parentheses. So this is changing the inside to be a negative 3x, while this negative and this negative turn to a positive to be positive 4x. Over here, it's going to change everything on the inside. So this will become negative 5x squared, and this will become negative 7y. Where this negative will change the negative 2x to a positive 2x squared, and this positive 8 now becomes negative 8. Alright, let's go to the next notes where we have some examples down. We'll do just a couple of these, and these are just, again, simplifying. So let's look here. We're simplifying, taking step 1 here, and I'm going to put my numbers together, but what do I notice here? I got a negative outside, so I'm changing everything. So what I'm going to do is make this a positive, that a negative, and that becomes a negative. So now when I put these together, this 6x and this negative 3x, that's 3x, and this positive 2 and this negative 5 becomes negative 3. Oh, focus. And there you see that? Let's try and simplify number 1 here, example 1. Okay, we got to change the sign because of that negative, so I'm going to keep my 8x squared plus 2, and that's fine, but I'm going to make this a positive and then change the signs of everything inside. Now when I put these together, the 8x squared minus 3x squared, and then the 2 minus the 4 gives me 5x squared plus negative 2. Now you can do plus and negative either way, and that's fine. Or just leave it as minus 2. Example 2 over here, again, we change all these signs. So I got my 8x, changes to plus, and then change everything to the inside. So put together my like terms. 8x and 3x becomes 5x, and that negative 9 just stays the same. Alright, see if we can fit in 2 more examples here. Here again, I want to change my signs, so 5x plus 3, change my signs on the inside here, negative 2x minus 7. Put our like terms together, 5x and negative 2x. Well, that's negative, whoops, that's positive, sorry, positive 3x. And then the 3 and the minus 7 becomes negative 4. And one more. Again, we don't change until we get to here, and then we'll change everything under. So 6x squared minus 4x plus 7. So we're fine right there. Let's change this negative to a positive, and then everything after becomes the opposite sign. So negative 2x squared This negative 3 becomes positive 3x, and that becomes minus 5. Now let's put together like terms. Right there and there, 6x squared and a negative 2x squared is 4x squared. This negative 4x and positive 3x becomes negative 1x, or negative x is okay. And this 7 and this negative 5 becomes positive 2. So I hope those examples look good. Try the homework out and see how you guys do. Email your teachers with any questions.